survive.
I guess I could add us back to the stream, huh? I got too many things going on, JP. Too many things. Welcome to Talkin VAWLS.
Wasn't my fault.
I don't know because I saw your eyes when I said that. Welcome to Talkin VAWLS, episode number 122. It is my favorite time of the year. The season is over and let the speculation begin. Coach firings and hirings and rumor mills. It's going to be a good time, but my name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Balls JP.
And I'm Dauber. What's happening?
Let's run down the chat. Let's see who's here. You guys have been in here all day long, going back and forth, having some good conversation. I love it. I see 86 was in here. Like button is smashed. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. The third Carlos is here. They do well with basketball. I don't know if he's talking about. Oh, he's talking about the administration. Yeah, some of these don't make sense. That's all right. We'll roll with it. Fallout Zone is here hanging out in the chat. Tim Bradley is also here. Says, yeah, buddy, let's get it. Go Big Orange. Yeah, the basketball team just rolled tonight, Tim. Dauber and JP will be covering that. When are you guys going live next week?
Next Wednesday night after the Missouri game, 11 p.m. or whatever time
Lord
it
have
ends.
mercy.
Late night Talkin VAWLS.
So if we've got some special drama that just happens to drop and break, we'll go live, I guess, maybe on Tuesday night or something. Let's just talk business right here on the air. We'll work it out because, look, guys, this thing is fluid. Obviously, you know, a lot of people think Jeremy Pruitt is safe. He's not going anywhere. If that's the case, this will be the last Talkin VAWLS of the year other than the basketball coverage. But if something happens, if there's a major change and we need to go live, stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We'll let you guys know when that is going to take place. But it's crazy, man. The season is over. Everything is done. There's really no news breaking right now, and there's 104 of you guys hanging out watching. We are glad that you're here. Do smash that thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. We're just going to talk. It's going to be an open conversation. This fan base is 100% divided. It is divided. You think a lot of times that everybody's done with Pruitt. Oh, no. Go to Facebook and post that you're going to have a live stream where you talk about the future of this program. The insults start flying. And that's the thing. If you guys are in this chat and you are a Pruitt defender, if you think Pruitt is the guy, you think Pruitt needs more time, that's great. All opinions are welcome, but you can do it in a civil manner. Like, I don't understand the anger and the hatred and the insults that fly when you think that Jeremy Pruitt is not the guy. Short Fuse 0311, thanks for becoming a new member. You have access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. So what is it, Dauber? Why is this fan base so – look, we all want the same thing. We all want to win, but why are they so hostile towards you if you're ready to move on?
Because they don't share your opinion, and they think that their opinion is the only one correct. It's the same thing that you've seen recently in the political realm with the elections coming up. People don't know how to talk and debate and have a conversation back and forth. It's something this day and age, this culture, instant media. Everybody's a keyboard cowboy, and all these things that get said on social media, 95% of it they wouldn't say to your face.
Yeah, it is. It's just the nature of the beast, I guess. Nicole says, where is the member button? How do I get these custom emojis? Nicole, it is right down underneath the subscribe button. It says join. When you hit join, it's going to walk you through the steps to Google. You can either join for 99 cents a month or $2.99 a month. It's basically just a tip. You know, a lot of people do super chats, what we greatly appreciate. If you don't do super chats, but you're like, hey, I can give these guys a cup of coffee a month, you can join the channel. Unfortunately, if you have an iPhone or an Apple product, it does not work. You've got to be on some type of computer or an Android device to get that to pop up. So, yeah, that sucks. What about you, JP? Where you at? What are you thinking tonight? What do you want to talk about?
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot going on. Holidays, Pruitt's grandfather passing away.
Transfer portal.
We'll get there. We'll get to that. A lot of people want to talk about that.
Transfer portal, yeah, with that. But I'm not sure about the fan base being divided, Boogie, because I think the huge majority are ready to move on.
I need to wait. I
think
to pull
it's
up
the
my notifications.
administration. I think it's the administration that's divided.
Maybe it's just Facebook. Facebook is you think Twitter's bad? At least people on Twitter, for the most part, can complete a full sentence. You go to Facebook and say anything negative about Jeremy Pruitt. I was telling you guys before we went live, the insults that I received just from saying, this fan base is divided. Are you in or are you out? The insults that came my way. Look, it's pretty crazy when you're sitting down to watch a movie with your wife and your kid's going to have a nice evening, and you get messages sent to your personal Facebook account insulting you because somebody disagrees with this stupid show that we have on YouTube. It's insanity. It's insanity.
Well, I think everybody that watches this knows where I stand on this, but let me just share a few facts, and these are absolute facts. Jeremy Pruitt is 16-19.
Fact.
Wait, good job, Dobry. Get it.
We lost 7 football games this year, every one of them by double digits.
Ooh, hurtful fact.
We have offensive linemen that are 5 stars, 4 stars across the board that got whipped many, many times. Yes, I understand that they had a couple of good games running the ball, but they was never good in pass protection. We haven't been able to develop any of our young receivers, and don't give me the COVID excuse. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. The quarterback situation was absolutely, ever since Jeremy Pruitt was hired at the University of Tennessee, has been a total disaster. Could not develop anybody at all. He basically just ran off the best, probably overall talented as far as athletic ability, arm strength quarterback in Shrout, who's entered the transfer portal. Then this guy is a defensive genius. This guy is known as a defensive back whisper, and we could never even figure out how to defend the simple slant. I mean, I don't know how anybody can honestly defend it. And I get the situation that hiring a coach is an absolute crapshoot. It is an absolute crapshoot. There, outside of 3 or 4 coaches, there is no guarantees. But I don't know how long that you continue to roll with this guy. Then you start hearing about all of the things that he has done off the field as far as the enemies that he is so evidently that he has gotten down there, that he's not made very many friends in the athletic department and on the academic side, all of that. So I guess my question is how do you continue to justify that?
And that's the thing. And the Indie Kid's been doing it. We've said it here. If you are somebody that defends Jeremy Pruitt, I would love to see your reasons for that. And Patrick Norrell on Facebook, I don't know if he's in the chat or not, was kind of going back and forth with him. And he was talking about, talent level and the talent gap between Tennessee and Alabama and Tennessee and Georgia and Tennessee and Florida. I'm not talking about those games. If this football team had come out and gone 5-5 this year, if they had beat Kentucky and they had beat Arkansas, would I be happy? Would I be on my high horse? No, but I wouldn't be on this fire Pruitt bandwagon. It would be more of a, let's give it some more time. Let's see what he does next year. The excuses are a little bit more, you can take them a little easier if they had gone 5-5. But 3-7 with losses to Kentucky, a blowout loss to Kentucky at home, and a loss to Arkansas when Tennessee has more talent. Who's that on? That's on the coach. And I don't know. We'll continue to talk about that as the night goes on. But John Robert Tolkertine is back with a $4.99 super chat. And he said, I think Feinbaum said it best. Someone is clearly after Pruitt's job. I just wonder who it is. It's not Fulmer. So who? And let me hit these new members. Then we'll kind of elaborate on that. Jamie West, thank you for becoming a member. We greatly appreciate it. Play with those emojis, guys. Put them in the chat. Let people know that you are a member of the channel. Also, when you guys join the channel, I do try to highlight your comments more often because they do show up on screen. Jimbo, is that Jimbo Fisher? I knew Jimbo Fisher listened to the show.
Jimbo.
Thanks for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate it. Let me go back. Where was it? I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Good gosh, there's so many people here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Who is after that job? It's not Fulmer. And that's the thing about this whole situation. And that's why some people are saying, you all need to shut up. Jeremy Pruitt's back next year. We don't know that. We do not know that Jeremy Pruitt is back next year. This thing is fluid. As JP said earlier, or one of y'all said it, talking about Jeremy Pruitt's grandfather, which is the timing of that is terrible. And thoughts and prayers to his whole family and him himself. He tested positive for COVID. I don't know how that impacted being able to go to his grandfather's funeral. The timing of this whole thing is terrible. And at the end of the day, Jeremy Pruitt is a person, but this is also a $1 million business, and we are going to judge it that way. But that said, again, thoughts and prayers to his family. I hate the timing of the situation, but that's why this thing has not played out. It has not ran its course yet, because there are moving pieces. There are politics behind the scenes. I think there are more than one person that wants Jeremy Pruitt gone. So I think Fulmer is probably backing him and loyal to him, but Fulmer doesn't make the decisions.
Oh, there's no doubt that Fulmer's backed him. I mean, there's no doubt. And I don't understand it, because yes, he was the one that hired Pruitt, but I think most fans would be willing to give Fulmer a pass because of the way that hire happened and all the stuff that went down. So to me, it's really, really surprising to me that Fulmer has just jumped on that wagon and has just, went all in at this point in time. It's really surprised me. Maybe it's his ego. Maybe that, that he doesn't want to be saying, yes, I was wrong on that. But again, I think with the way that hire went down after that last coaching search, I think most fans would say, okay, we're going to give him a pass on this one. Let's go hire somebody else. But it's obvious that he's all in with Pruitt. So,
well, that's we go back to the leak of the impermissible benefits and the investigation, the compliance department getting into the academic and booster money side of looking at recruiting. And when that was released, and it was apparently released from internally, somebody within the athletic department put that information out to a couple members of the media, and that is how the story got legs. And they put it out during the game. So it's, yeah, like you said, Boogie, there are definitely people, boosters, maybe people within the athletic department, like JP said, the academic side of it. Pruitt has not made a lot of friends within the facility that helps the players. That's
what's been reported. Yeah,
there's just a lot of things going on, and we talked about it early in the season that things just didn't seem to be as peachy as they appeared from the outside within this program.
You fire an assistant coach mid-game, week 4, clearly you got issues.
Yeah.
Huge issues. And let me hit this super chat. It kind of bleeds into what Dauber's talking about there. Jamie West for $5. Thank you, Jamie. We appreciate you being here, and thanks for the super chat. It says, how about Pruitt's best friend, Will Friend, leaving? Isn't it a clue that things aren't good on the Hill? Then I got some oceanfront property in Wyoming. Wyoming, that the word Wyoming is banned on this show. A friend of the show, regular listener, sent me a text and, said, what do you think about Will Friend leaving? What does that mean? And I said, it could mean one of two things. It means either he knows the writing is on the wall and Pruitt's done. And so it's, hey, man, this ain't going to play out well. Take the job if you got it. Or it means that Jeremy Pruitt is taking this serious and is willing to cut the fat, get it out. If this guy's not, you talked about the offensive line, JP, and yeah, they did some nice things in the run game, but you're talking about a 5-star offensive line, a position group that we expected to dominate this year, and they just didn't cut it. So did Jeremy Pruitt make that decision, or is the writing on the wall? I don't know. From what I
read, of course, Friend's contract was expiring, and from what I read, that Tennessee wasn't really active in trying to sign him back. So I guess that he was looking to get something secured. But I'm not going to lose any sleep over Will Friend leaving. I can tell you that right now. So
No.
I just hope he continues his success at South Carolina.
Yeah. Or the lack thereof, because they need somebody down there that can coach these offensive linemen up. They need somebody down there that jumps their what and gets these kids playing like a bunch of junkyard dogs, because that's what you got to have on the offensive side. You have got to have a mean streak in you. I mean, you've got to want to absolutely destroy that guy in front of you. And I don't know, it's just kind of like for years down there that we've just had just some soft finesse type players down there. I mean, I want some mean guys down there.
Do you think it's anything to do with the guy that was playing quarterback at the time? Because Trey Smith had some dog in him.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that as much this year. We're seeing quarterbacks on the ground, and nobody on this offensive line is stepping up to defend them. They're not even reaching a hand down to help them up off the ground.
Yeah. I just think that all of that just went into something that was going on within that locker room, within that coaching staff. I mean, I do. I just think, these players see that stuff. They see that. I was talking to a buddy today, and he was telling me that at the Kentucky game that supposedly Pruitt, when Trout went in and threw that pick and come over on the sidelines, that Pruitt was just berating Trout right there in front of the entire team and was saying he'd never play another down after he puts him in, because Garantano had threw 2 pick sixes and then puts Garantano back in. So, I mean, now whether or not that's true or not, I mean, that was, but it's obvious that Pruitt's got a temper on him. It's obvious that he doesn't handle situations well. He's in over his head. He's in over his head.
If you're winning, every bit of that's completely fine. 100% fine. Let me get this super chat from Nicole for $1.99. Thanks so much, Nicole. She says, name of the intro song, Beautiful Fiddle. If anybody wants that, the easiest way is to just go to YouTube and search Talkin VAWLS theme song, and it'll pop up. It's called, what is it called? Beat Poets by the Snake Oil Salesman. But the thing is, it's non-copyrighted music. That band doesn't exist anymore, and it's very hard to find. But if you search Talkin VAWLS theme on YouTube, you can get it there. So check that out. We got a new member,
That's
JP.
one of those songs that you either love or hate, because we get comments about people that hate it, and then we got comments people that absolutely love it. You want me to name this one?
Yeah,
I just want
to share the wealth. Shout out this new member for us.
Do your best Bob Kessling impression.
Katanaptos Wozna.
Thanks,
I don't
JP.
have a clue.
And thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate it. You now have access to the custom emojis as well. Kyle with a $4.99 super chat. Thanks so much. Kyle says, on a serious note, I believe Shiano would be doing better. He's done more with less. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for all you do. Merry Christmas to you, Kyle. I don't know that Shiano, I was not on board with that hire at all. Not on board. He may be doing better.
We need to hire Kyle as the strength and conditioning coach.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. There's
Kyle, I am jealous.
Nobody would question that.
I'm pushing for JP to coach the offensive line.
Hey,
he can get down there and light a fire under these boys.
He'd give him a JP rant, that's for sure. I like this. This is for the first time ever. I know you can't see it on the screen or on, because I'm on StreamYard showing these, but if you're looking at the YouTube chat, this is the first super chat we've ever gotten using custom emojis. Thank you, Jimbo, for $5. Says, have Dauber shave his beard and infiltrate Pruitt's staff to get the inside news. How did you know, Jimbo? That's the plan for next year. We're going to work on that. The beard will be shaved, and Dauber will be in Knoxville when spring rolls around. Let me see if I'm caught up here. John Robert with another $1.99 super chat. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. Once the season is over, it's like it's the farewell. It's the last football show. It's the last chance to throw a tip in the jar, but we appreciate you guys and all of your financial support. It's actually crazy. But John Robert says, for $1.99, friend leaving was a nice stocking stuffer. Yeah, I don't think anybody's mad about that. William Poole is a new member. Thank you so much, William. And am I caught up? Let me see. Yep, that's it. I'm caught up on all the super chats and all of the new members. We appreciate the support. We do have 278 watching right now. We would appreciate it if you guys hit that thumbs up. This is another thing that it's kind of like the theme song. Either people love it or they hate it. When I go on these rants talking about thumbs up, somebody in the comment section this week said, I really like your show, but Boogie needs to shut up and quit asking people to hit the like button. If your show is good, they'll hit it. Well, look, we have 100 thumbs up right now. When I start harping on it, it starts to go up. It's to 109. It's crazy. So here's the thing. If you guys want me to start harping on it, number one, you can put it in the chat, say, Boogie, stop. Number two, just hit that thumbs up when you come in the door, and I won't talk about it. But when I harp on it and start talking about how it makes me sleep well at night, see, it's up to 100. It's up 14 times since I started this rant. So to my good friend that was in the chat, we were kind of joking back and forth about it. When I do rant, the thumbs up comes. So I'm sorry. Just bear with me. Tune me out for 30 seconds. I'll stop doing it, and then we'll move on with the show. Nicole says for $1.99 super chat, we'll miss you guys. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Nicole. And
Merry Christmas, Nicole.
You won't miss us. Dauber and JP will still be covering basketball. The Indie Kid will be hanging out covering basketball. And anybody that likes pro wrestling. I'll be talking about pro wrestling every Thursday night at 9 o'clock right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But no, seriously, if you guys want us to do more live streams together, the three of us, let us know. I don't know what, like, every time you guys say this, it's like, we should do it. Let's do it. And then we try, and it's like, what are we going to talk about? If you guys want more live streams, let us know. We'll do what we can. Wayne says, Boogie, stop begging for likes. Wayne, I'm so glad you came on last week and buried the hatchet. It's good to see you in the chat, buddy.
Oh, Wayne. What's up, Wayne?
Wayne.
Hey, I tell you what I'd like to talk about. Let's talk about this bowl game. And
very interesting, huh? Very interesting.
I think old COVID was used as another excuse here, and kind of saved the team from opt-outs or transfer portal and not having enough people to play, and just a whole bunch of stuff. It just the timing of it, the way it kind of happened, just seems a little off.
Well, they end up with 20-some positive tests.
Well, see, now, I don't know if they actually said how many positive tests, but I think they said upwards of 30 players or coaches or support people that were involved in it. But now you got to think all that contact tracing. That's what that you got to think about there. But I don't know. I guess it's interesting that we haven't heard that any Texas A&M players have got in COVID. So that's interesting for sure. So I don't know. There was some stuff floating around that, that a lot of the players were just ready for this season to get over with. I was actually listening to Hubs. He does some radio spot, I think, down in Nashville. And he brought up a really good point. He was like, a lot of these kids, what they've been through this year, having to get tested for COVID three times a week, having to go back to their dorm, not being able to do anything. He was like, just let these kids just go home for the holidays, spend some time with their family, not think about football, and then just come back, after the first of the year and start working out and stuff like that. So I would say that if you probably took a poll from that football team down there, I'd say that the overwhelming majority of them would have said, let's just go to the house.
And what does that say? What does that say?
Do you think so, though?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Even all the way up to the end of the A&M game, this team played hard and fought and scrapped.
They never stopped competing. I mean, that's a good point.
No, I mean, that's the only positive that came out of this whole season. And that right there could really be the only argument that you could have for maybe retaining Pruitt.
Well, continuity. Continuity.
Quit.
I think continuity is the big thing to keep Pruitt. Although, like I've said, there have been so many red flags that have popped up since the Kentucky game. Since coming out of the half at the Kentucky game. And I've talked and back and forth with a few people on some comments on a couple of past videos. You know, Pruitt is in year 3 of being a head coach. He's still learning. Granted, I don't think the University of Tennessee is a place for a coach to cut their teeth and learn how to be a head coach. I would have rather seen him go somewhere and work his way, figure out how to be a head coach somewhere else, and then us hire him. But that's like we've talked about multiple episodes. Is this administration, do they want to have a successful football team? Are they invested?
Let's go back. I want to go back and talk about, you talking about continuity and what that means for this program. That's something that we need. That's, people say, well, they need more time. And I think that's what they're trying to say, and they just don't really know how to say it. Continuity, having time with the same offensive coordinator, the same defensive coordinator, the same position coach. But this is year 3. What happens? What usually happens around year 3 when a head coach is not succeeding? But what has been happening Jeremy Pruitt's entire career at Tennessee? We're seeing assistant coaches constantly move on, and it goes back to JP. He's the first person I know that was calling it out, saying there's something wrong with this staff. But then, we see Will Friend leaving. You're crazy if you think that's the only coach that's leaving this staff. I don't think Chris Winkie will be back. I will be curious to see if Derek Ansley is back. We are going to see more staff changes. So you come back to year 4. You think the seat is hot now? You think the pressure is on now? Wait until they tell this fan base that Jeremy Pruitt's going to be on that sideline next year. What do you think's going to happen when he comes out and he goes 500? This fan base is going to be pissed. How much pressure is on him with a new coaching staff, maybe a new defensive coordinator, a new offensive line coach, a new quarterbacks coach?
Well, and that's the thing. You talk about staff turnover. If you're looking at bringing in 4, 5, 6 coaches, I mean, you're almost just as well to go ahead and make that change completely and bring in an entire new head coach and his staff.
Yeah, because if you're looking at it logically, if Pruitt cleans house and half of this staff is gone, for them to have any kind of success, you're going to need at least another 3 years. At least. You're going to have to. JB, what's going on down there, buddy? You look sad.
Just reading some of the chat. I'm just reading some of that. I mean, my question with it is I'm not sure what kind of coaches that he would even get. And
right.
It's going to be really, really telling if it gets leaked out that he tries to hire somebody to replace Friend and they say no, because that right there tells me that they probably plan on firing him. But then say that, that Fulmer, the administration sides with Fulmer and they decide to keep him. You're not going to get quality coaches for this 4th year. It's not going to work. You are going to have to overpay to get somebody, and it's going to be very, very difficult to get somebody that was even better than Will Friend. So you're just absolutely just hurting yourself even worse. And that's the red flags. That's the warning signs. This guy can't hold on to assistant coaches. For whatever reason, he can't do it. He cannot do it. And then you're going to try to go in and hire 2, 3, 4 other assistant coaches in a year that he's going to be on the hottest of seats of all. I mean, I just don't see how that makes any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense.
Let me hit the super chat because it's about to go off the screen and then I won't be able to get it. And sorry guys, I'm trying to get your comments in the chat, but there's so many. I'm trying to keep track of the super chats. Just bear with me here, and then we'll get back to that. Ty Myers for $1.99. Thanks, Ty, for the super chat. Salter versus Bailey, about to be a battle, Pruitt or not. Yeah, but I don't know that it's a good – you think that's what led Dauber to Shrout transferring out because he knew that Salter was going to be Pruitt's guy, and he knew he was going to be number 3 no matter what?
It's hard to tell. it's crazy to imagine that Brian Maurer is the most senior quarterback in the quarterback room right now.
I'll be surprised if he's back next year, honestly.
Who?
Yeah.
Brian
Maurer? Oh no, surely not. I mean, I'd like to see Shrout back, but obviously, I mean, he's entered the portal, so we'll see if he ends up sticking.
That doesn't mean he's gone. He is looking.
Yeah,
it tells you his mindset. It tells you his mindset, though.
Right.
He'll go somewhere. He'll go somewhere and ball out. You know it's going to happen.
Well, I think that Shrout's probably more upset with the way that the whole situation was handled, and he probably doesn't feel like that he was given a fair shot at it.
And he absolutely wasn't.
Wouldn't you be?
After he played in the Kentucky game, he did not see the field again until the 7th game.
Yeah, and he didn't even travel to Arkansas, right?
Yeah, did not travel.
So, I mean,
you can only say it so many times how bad Pruitt mishandled that quarterback's room.
I mean,
whether you defend him or not, and that's one thing I see a lot of these people that defend Pruitt. They'll say, "Well, he needs more time, but he didn't manage the quarterback room good. He didn't do this right. He didn't do that right." And they rattle off everything that we say, and then just say he needs more time. William Poole for $5 says, "Watch Pruitt turn everything around, and then we'll get hit with penalties and sanctions due to the investigation. That's our luck." We'll leave off the second half of that. It wouldn't surprise me. I hope Jeremy Pruitt turns it around. Look, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I hope if he's back next year that this team finds a way to turn it around. That's what we all want. That's what we all want. Come on, guys. This is about the 4th comment I've seen about my toboggan. It's the Braves, man. Come on. It doesn't have the little mullet. You know everything in Alabama has a mullet. You guys. Nicole for $1.99. Come on. Yeah, thank you, JP. Nicole for $1.99. Pruitt is a coward. Never back down. Am I caught up? Sorry, guys. There's so many chats coming through. It's impossible to stay caught up.
You got our good buddy Hop.
There it is. Hopkins lacrosse fan, $10. A season finale. A year that raised more questions than answers. Win, lose, or draw. Remember the passion. That passion, the indicator that you care. Keep up the amazing show, gentlemen, and enjoy your off season. Hop, we don't have an off season. I keep these guys grinding all the time. They got to cover basketball, hopefully directly right into spring practice. That's what I hope we can do. But thanks so much, Hop. You've been dropping super chats since day one. We appreciate your support. I look forward to COVID going away, and then the 3 of us are going to get in the car. We're going to drive up there, and we're going to watch some Hopkins lacrosse, and I'm going to wear my shirt. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And knowing Dauber and JP, they're going to buy Hopkins lacrosse merchandise too. And it'll be epic road trip. Epic road trip. Can't wait. All right.
So,
we're caught up.
So there's this narrative that's floating around that Pruitt may not let go of the many assistant coaches because he's afraid if he does, then the administration will just say, well, if we're going to have to rebuild the coaching staff, then you might as well just start all over from the top down. So
where were you? We literally just said that.
He was reading the chat.
I must have been reading the chat.
I'll admit I do that all the time while y'all are talking. I'm reading the chat. I'm putting stuff in the comments. It's running a live stream is not easy. Hey, we're just 3 inbred hicks that don't know anything, according to people on Facebook.
Yeah, but I guess that's what bothers me though, because I mean, why would you bring somebody back just because, or keep those assistant coaches that aren't performing? I mean, just that whole situation does not make any sense. I mean, if I was former or one of them administrators down there, I mean, I would be telling Pruitt, you are going to have to make some staff changes, and this is what that we want to see. And maybe that will end up happening once they finally decide what they're going to end up doing with it. But I mean, I would just hate to know that somebody like Chris Winkie is going to be retained because he's afraid that if he gets rid of too many coaches that he's going to be let go. Because Chris Winkie couldn't. I mean, he would ruin Peyton Manning. He would ruin Joe Montana. He would ruin Tom Brady.
The bottom line is if you are basing decisions on trying to make it another year, you're not the guy. If you're trying to work the system and say, well, if I fire too many guys, they're going to get rid of me. You're not the guy. You're not the guy. If you're trying to manipulate the situation, you're not going to get it done. Seahawk, I know you said it multiple times. I want to go back and put it on here. Can we get an update on the investigation? That's the problem. There is no update. And again, it goes back to what we kind of said earlier in the show with Pruitt, and this thing's still playing out because, number one, it's Christmas. The campus is empty. Number two, Pruitt, him having COVID, how many people in this administration or this coaching staff, how many of them have COVID, or like JP said, contact tracing. Because of all that, I don't think we're really going to hear anything until probably after the new year. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I saw a couple people commenting that Niedermeyer has retained a lawyer.
What is that? I saw that.
I think rumors out there. Yeah.
For what?
I guess because of this investigation and his name being tied to the report that they're under investigation and he was involved in it, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we'll see how long this investigation takes. I mean, obviously Tennessee is going to have to do something soon. I mean, they're going to have to make a decision whether we're keeping him or he's gone. I mean, they can't let this drag out forever. I mean, they have got to get something done within the next 10 days, I would think.
But I think that's the time frame you're looking at when you look at COVID and quarantine times and all that stuff. Yeah, 10 days. Probably right. Somebody in the chat saying, is that why the game was canceled? Yeah, Michael, the game was canceled because Tennessee pulled out because of COVID. Jeremy Pruitt tested positive, and they've got around 30-some people caught up in contact tracing.
They were saying that I think Hub said that they couldn't play because that they didn't have anybody to coach the defense, and a lot of people was like, well, what's any different than the entire year then?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you lost your head coach, your defensive coordinator, your defensive line coach. Heck, Pruitt just needs to do it all. That's what I said when they said that Jay Graham couldn't coach. I was like, well, heck, Pruitt can just coach the running backs too. He can do it all. Let him do it all. That's what he wants.
Yeah. What they should have done is just done like a fan vote type thing or some kind of contest and just had some fans call the defense down there.
I'm a beast. I'm a beast on defense on Madden. Look, let me tell you something. I just bring 7 guys every time and just all out blitzes, and it works. I do it. I could do it.
You'd be like that high school coach that never punts.
Yeah, no, never. Actually, it makes me mad when I'm playing people on Madden and they don't punt. I'm like, play realistic, man. Play realistic. You got to punt. You got to kick extra points. You got to kick field goals. It is what it is. We got 326 people watching. If my buddy from the comment section's here, please tune out for about 30 seconds. We just asked that you hit that thumbs up. We got 155 thumbs up. Let's get it to 200. It's the season finale of Talkin VAWLS football. Let's get it to 200. We appreciate you guys hanging out. We appreciate all the support. If you guys keep showing out, dropping super chats, hitting that thumbs up, maybe I'll make these guys go live again. I don't know. I don't know what we'll talk about. But if news does drop, if something happens with Pruitt or if something major with the coaching staff, if you guys are going to show up with 300 and some people in here like you are tonight, we'll go live. Trust me, we will go live. But regardless, check these guys out for basketball. Dauber and JP do a great job covering basketball. The Indy kid does a great job covering basketball. And I'll just tell you guys this. I don't think you would mind me telling you. The Indy kid was going to come on tonight because – he does a great job making videos, covering football, covering basketball. He used to be on the show, but time commitments kind of made him pull away, that's what brought Dauber on the show. So, but I thought it would be fun to have him on for the last episode of the year. But he made the difficult decision this morning to put one of his dogs down. And I know, man, he's a dog guy. He actually, him and his wife rescued our dog. So, he's having a tough time with that. Thoughts and prayers to him. As silly as that, some people might think that's silly, but man, you get one of these little dogs and they become part of your family. So thoughts and prayers to the Indy kid and his wife. But yeah, so what I wanted to go back and say, JP and Dauber covering basketball. We got basketball merch now. And I know this is the football show, but I'm going to plug it anyway because I love this design. So the links are in the description, bonfire.com/ballhoops. But check that out. It's available in t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and also hoodies. This might be my favorite design we've done yet. I love it. I love it.
You said you ordered a couple?
I don't even like basketball.
And you don't even like basketball.
That tells you how much I love this logo, man. But I will say this: I have been watching the basketball team. I just don't have the knowledge to come on with you guys and talk about it. But
I don't either.
You do a great. You guys do. I
just played Jack, man. And I was so bad that my dad was usually the head coach, and usually the coach's son always plays, no matter how bad they suck. No, not my dad. He always wanted to win, so I sat over there and watched most of the time. But I will say, when Vols JP got in, he had 5 fouls, and he made sure that he did not go home with any fouls. He might not had any points or any assists and a bunch of turnovers, but he guaranteed that there was 5 fouls.
One of my favorite stories was I tried out for, I guess it was 6th grade traveling team basketball. My uncle was the coach. I tried out, and it came down to me and one other kid for the 12th man, and I got cut, and it devastated me, man. Devastated me. We were playing golf 20-some years later, and we're walking off the green. He says, "You know what your problem is?" He said, "You never played basketball for me." And I said, "Well, I tried, and you cut me." And he didn't even remember it. I'm like, oh, I was so devastated. But all of that just to say this: check out the Talkin VAWLS hoops merchandise. Anybody that's new here that hasn't seen it, we also have this. That's the State Pride logo. It's available in hoodies, T-shirts, and 3/4 sleeves. And we also have the old school Talkin VAWLS logo shirts, hoodies, T-shirts, some other different options. Again, all the links to all of that is in the description. Pick them up if you like. If not, that's fine. Let's move on.
We got Tony wanting to know. We got Tony Mosier wanting to know who that we would take. I mean, I think everybody knows that I'm on the freeze train. And who knows? I mean, who knows if it ultimately be successful here? But I think it was pretty impressive what he done at Ole Miss. I think it's impressive what he's done up there at Liberty. The fact that Nick Saban said that he changed his whole offensive philosophy based on Hugh Freeze, and we're seeing more and more and more every single year that this is becoming a offensive game, that defense is not what it used to be. So, that, but I don't know about Chadwell. I mean, who knows? I mean, all of these guys are crapshoot. Now, Campbell, I think, would be a heck of a hire. I think that there's a lot of questions whether or not that he wants to come to the SEC and maybe stay in the Big 12 or Big 10 perhaps with that. Malzahn, I mean, I know that he had his struggles there at Auburn some, but based on those guys' track records and what Pruitt has shown and the way that this program seems to be trending, I think any of those guys would be an upgrade for sure.
Laura B says the merch links aren't working. I don't know why YouTube doesn't like them, but if you copy and paste them, they work. I think it's because I don't have an HTTPS in front of something. It's weird for some reason. But if you just go, if you can look and see what it is, it's bonfire.com/talkinVAWLS/2, 3, 4, 5, so just copy and paste them and they'll work. And I don't know why YouTube is so weird about those links being in there. They don't like our Facebook link either. But thanks for letting us know, Laura. But again, if you'll copy and paste, or if you'll just go to bonfire.com and search Talkin VAWLS, that merchandise should pop up. Somebody asked in the chat, where did it go? Let me find it. I can't find it. Sorry, I can't find it. Somebody was asking about, it was Tammy D. There it is. JP, who won the Pick'em contest on Facebook?
We actually had a tie. On that. I'll get the finals out tonight after we finish this show here. But we had a tie. I believe it was Daniel Griffin and what's his name? I don't ever see either one of them on the actual show though.
What's crazy is there are so many people that listen to this
show
and don't comment.
I'll find it here.
Tammy D, we'll put it in the Facebook group, and we'll touch base with those people, and we will let them know what to do. Get us their address, and we'll get those shirts shipped out. Marlo for $4.99 says, "Hey guys, love the show." Well, thanks, Marlo. We appreciate that. Some people love it, some people hate it, and some people hate us. But We appreciate all of the support. You guys are awesome.
Mark Wilson II was the other one. He actually overall won.
Oh, there you
because,
go. There you go, right there. He is here.
Yeah,
He's just got a different. He's just got a different name. So, we were talking about. I was talking about that with my wife. She was saying that we need to have a big tailgate once everything gets back to normal, whether it be for the orange and white game or just a game in general, and let everybody know where we're going to be. And it'll be like the VolQuest tailgate where everybody's walking around with name tags of their YouTube names instead of their real names, because you never know who anybody is.
Yeah, but it was Mark and Daniel, but Mark actually won the tiebreaker, picking the closest to the score for the SEC championship game. So Mark Wilson II.
So, Mark, you can either message us on the Facebook group. That way you don't have to post your address in the group. Just message the Talkin VAWLS account with your address and let us know what design you want and what size you need, and we will get that sent out to you ASAP. If you do happen to like basketball, I put a short turnaround on the basketball shirts. They're printing in 14 days, and I set those up. When did y'all go live? Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
So 2 weeks from Monday, those will print and ship.
I think we got the 11th.
We got about 15 minutes left. What do you guys want? Let's do this. Let's talk about the future if Jeremy Pruitt is back. So let's just say that Jeremy Pruitt is the guy. He's coming back next year. Dauber, what does he need to do as a head coach to move forward? Can he recover? Look, going back to last season, I thought the guy was done. He managed to get that team to buy in, put together a nice little winning streak. But now here we are, 3-7. What does he need to do? What changes in the staff? His philosophies? What does he need to do to get this thing back on track if he is the guy?
If he's the guy, he is going to have to let the coaches that he brings in coach. I think he's going to have to back away, let his coordinators coach. I think that he and Chaney had some differences of opinion in especially the quarterback position. And I think that led to some of the offensive woes that we saw all season long. But I also think that he meddled in the defense quite a bit. You talked about it at the top of the show, the struggles we had on the back end in the secondary, and Ansley and Pruitt are both considered defensive back gurus, and we couldn't stop a slant pass. That's the thing. The biggest thing is Pruitt is going to have to let go of some of that control and let his coaches coach. He's going to have to bring in coaches that are actually going to coach, though. I think that we got all fired up and getting all these guys. I think we had 3 recruiters of the year on staff, and that's all well and good.
And are they now in trouble?
To bring these guys in? Well, I'm not even going there, but I'm saying bring the guys in, but you still got to coach them up. You still got to develop these players once they get to camps. Because what we're seeing right now are all these guys coming in with talent, but they
what happened? You completely froze up for a second. Sorry. It's the last show. I'm having fun, Dauber.
All these guys with talent come in and they plateau. They never get any better. And I'm afraid that's what we've seen on the offensive line. You look across the board, like JP said earlier, 4- and 5-star guys that couldn't get their coverage right, that couldn't call out the blitzes, that couldn't pick up the linebackers, that slid the wrong way and let people rush in free. It's he's going to have to learn from his mistakes.
So that's
the biggest thing.
Let's spin this to JP then, based on what Dauber's saying, the changes he needs to make. JP, what's the bottom line? And let me go ahead and share my screen here. I've got it pulled up, and this is this could change depending on how things play out. And you're still missing one of the non-conference games here. So looking at the schedule for 2021, JP, what does Jeremy Pruitt have to do next year to win you back, to get Vols JP, which probably you're the worst person to ask because you probably want him to go 12-0. What does Jeremy Pruitt have to do to win Vols JP back over, looking at this schedule for next year?
Well, I mean, obviously, he would have to win all of the non-conference games and win most of them very, very convincingly, and then win all of the SEC games that we would expect to win.
So looking at the non-conference, you got Bowling Green, Pitt, South Alabama, and speculation is a Division II team, whatever that's called now, because I can't ever remember because I'm old.
FCS.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, with that. But me, win those games, but then it still comes down to how competitive are you against Florida and Georgia and Alabama. I mean, that is what it still boils down to me, because if we continue to, somehow find a way to, beat Vanderbilt and South Carolina and Kentucky next year, but we kind of just have to hang around and beat them the way that we did last year in 2019, but then just get absolutely ran off the field again against Florida and Georgia and Bama. I just don't know how that you can continue to say that that's any kind of improvement with that. I just don't see it. Do I see Jeremy Pruitt beating Lane Kiffin next year in Ole Miss? Absolutely not. I do not see that. I think that Lane Kiffin's offense will absolutely destroy Pruitt. I just think so. I think South Carolina will be bad next year. Of course, I think Vanderbilt will be bad. Missouri with that quarterback, he was SEC Freshman of the Year. So you got to play him. Kentucky's got a new offensive coordinator. You'd imagine that they're going to try to open things up. I just think that it's going to be tough. But as far as me saying it, again, I think that you have to win all of those games that you would expect to win, the Kentuckys, the Missouri, South Carolinas, the Vanderbilts, all the non-conference games, but you better dang be competitive in Georgia and Florida games. I mean, you better find a way to be competitive and not get blowed out.
So let's say they win every non-conference game, all 4 non-conference games, and they have losses to Alabama, Florida, Georgia, 9-3, but that would put him at 0-12 against the big 3. Are you on board, or are you just going to say, well, let's see what happens in 2022, and if he doesn't beat one of the big 3, he's done?
Well, and again with that, I mean, it's how that you win those games. Can you find a way to have an easy win against Vanderbilt, an easy win against South Carolina, possibly Kentucky? Can you show that you are making that improvement and that you are pulling away from those teams? But then I'm going to be looking at how are we competing against Georgia and Florida? That's what Bama. I'm not even going to go there, because they are so much further ahead of 99.9% of all teams that we're not even anywhere close to even being competitive with them.
But the gap's closing.
Yeah, right. Oh, sure it is.
Wait.
Sure
What'd you say, Dauber?
I said the gap's closing.
Oh my God, we should leave it.
But what you were asking, Dauber, as far as what I think that Pruitt needs next year, he better hope that Caden Salter is an absolute stud, or that Harrison Bailey can have a spring practice and a fall camp to where he can be developed, because without competent quarterback play, it's going to be a same song and dance as we've seen this year and the struggles since Pruitt has been there, because you're not going to win many SEC football games or any college football games anymore averaging 20 points a game. You're just not going to do it. And Pruitt's proven that defense down there, whatever that he's doing, is not working. And somebody, I think it was Kevin, the Bear, that said it. Pruitt needs to realize that he doesn't have 5-star talent across the board. So whatever he's done at Alabama and Georgia and Florida State, it's obviously that it's not working because he don't have that same type of talent. So if you're that good of a coach, Pruitt, then you need to find out what your kids can do good.
And
you need to find out
to that. To that.
Yes.
Because that's one thing. I'll throw this out there. I said earlier, you look at the secondary and all the problems we had on the back end with Pruitt and Ansley being gurus at that position. But almost all the plays we were playing, 10, 12 yards off the ball, or receivers were catching balls with a 2-yard cushion. It was such easy pitches and catches for big chunk pass plays. So that tells me that there's a talent disparity, that our guys are slower. They're a couple steps slower. That, you can't call a game like you would at Alabama with what is at Tennessee right now.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with the defense. The biggest problem. That
goes back to what we said when Jeremy Pruitt was hired. And all three of us said it. This was a 4 or 5 year process. And I know that's tough to swallow with the results that we've seen, but we admitted it. We full out said, he needs 4 years.
But here's the thing with that. When you're talking about it is a 4 5 year process. But what's the end game? The end game is to win the East. The end game is to be in the SEC championship game. The end game is to be competing with Florida, Georgia, Alabama. I'm not saying it was a 4 to 5 year rebuild to compete with Kentucky and Arkansas and Vanderbilt. And that's where we're at in year 3. In year 3, we're going 3-7 and getting
we're going backwards.
Blown out by Kentucky at home. Like that, you want to see. Look, this is the midway point. This is like we're halfway home. Then we're going to get to the 5-year rebuild. No, we're going backwards. We're going backwards. That's the problem.
And the fact is that he can't keep any assistant coaches, so there's no continuity. I mean, it's every year he's hiring and firing new coaches. I mean, that's not a recipe for success because we've all seen it down there. I mean, that's why that we have a fraction of the fan base saying you got to hang on to him because all we do is hire and fire coaches. Well, what do you think Pruitt's doing? All he's doing is hiring and firing assistant coaches.
And why?
And that's a huge red flag.
Why? Why did he do that, Doctor? Why did he fire a coach mid-game? Why?
Because if it's not working out, you can't keep doing the same thing.
Time to move on. We're trying to wrap the show, and Jimbo's like, you guys aren't going anywhere. I'm going to throw money at you, and as long as this keeps happening, we'll just keep streaming because that's the way this channel works. Jimbo, for $5, says, what formula did Alabama use to get where they are now? Can we copy that? While he was waiting for our answer, he gave us the answer with another $5. Money equals MC squared. They went out and paid cash for the best coach in the history of college football.
For a proven head coach.
Yes, but still.
Not a coordinator, not somebody starting out.
A champion.
But, they were desperate like Tennessee is. I mean, they were desperate. Now,
what they do, but what they do in that desperation.
I know, but if people remember correctly, they were going to hire Rich Rodriguez, and supposedly he was going to sign and then backed out and decided not to. I don't even think that Rich Rodriguez is even coaching in college football anymore. His career went downhill really, really quick. So after that happened, the story goes is that a bunch of boosters was like, you go to Miami and you do not leave unless you bring Saban back home. And, basically what Alabama did is the whole administration at that university said enough is enough. we're getting serious and we're going to make this football program successful. And they brought Nick Saban in, who will go down as the greatest college coach in the history. But not only that, Nick Saban runs that place down there. He has control over so much stuff down there because they have so much synergy that is working together. Everything within that university has a thought about how is this going to affect football. And that's why that they've been so successful. They don't have all this infighting. Yeah, I'm sure they've got a few rogue boosters that every time that they lose a game's ready to fire, and fans and all that stuff. But they did what it took, what it had to be to get everybody on board. And that's why that they've been so successful. That's why Nick Saban, if you look at Nick Saban's record when he was at Michigan State, I mean, guys, it's because he's got all of this talent. I mean, if he was coaching at Tennessee, yes, I don't think that we'd have finished 3-7 this year. We might have went 7-3 and probably had been competitive in some games, but he's not going 10-0 with the talent that Tennessee currently has on their roster. It's just not going to happen. But you've got to build that up. That's what's frustrating to me, is this administration for years has not been on the same page, and it doesn't appear that they're on the same page right now either. Because
I'll tell you what else wouldn't have happened though. He wouldn't have had a quarterbacks coach stick around as long as Winky's been there. With the results that we've seen on the field.
Yeah.
Tanmay Gupta threw out a really good point and said Saban adapted. That's how he succeeded. Pruitt can't adapt. And that's the thing right now. I'm seeing such a lack of adjustments in game, such a lack of halftime adjustments.
Oh, they've been horrible.
And then you come back out the next week and do the same crap over. Do the same thing. You repeat what you did the week prior with no success.
As far as the defense goes, it was the same thing every single week. I mean, we never stopped a slant or anything across the middle the entire season. And you would think that those linebackers would have improved as the season went on, but they didn't. There was no improvement from Crouch and you could argue that Toto even regressed this year. I think that he did. And, poor old Banks, I mean, all of those guys, I mean, they were absolutely lost. They were lost. And you had, it's just the thoughts of some of these players. I mean, you've got, we're down by 30 points and somebody makes a tackle and they're up, flexing like Hulk Hogan or something. And I'm like, really? I'm like, you're getting your absolute tail kicked and you're wanting to sit around and flex around. And then you look over, or they pan over on the sidelines and you got guys over there laughing. And I mean, that's what frustrates you as a fan.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. You look at this Alabama team this year, it is nothing like the Alabama teams of the last 6, 7, 8 years that were built on their defense. This one's built on offense. And that's a complete change from the Saban coach teams that were successful previously, because the style of play has changed.
So what does that say about Saban? Yeah, exactly.
He adapted.
Yep.
So
willing to adapt, and I think that's something that Jeremy Pruitt's not willing to do. And look, he is running the program like he is Nick Saban, and like what we just said in the last 15 minutes, he doesn't have the horses to coach like Nick Saban. It is what it is. We're going to wrap this thing up. We still got 300 people watching. We're glad that you guys joined us tonight for this random Wednesday show after the season is over. I'm still not happy. We're at 196 thumbs up. Can we get it to 200 before I sign off? It'd make me happy. I'd greatly appreciate it. But that is going to wrap it up for this show. Again, don't forget, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That way you know when Dauber and JP are going live. It is kind of fluctuating. It depends on when the teams play, what they have going on. They are going to try to go live once per week after a game. So they will pick and choose. But just make sure you're subscribed. You can hit that bell for notifications. You can follow us on all social media. You can see our personal social medias there scrolling across the bottom. Well, actually, if you want to know when we're going live, follow me, because these two don't retweet anything. I retweet Talkin VAWLS. Follow at Talkin VAWLS_pod.
I don't even know how to tweet. How do I tweet?
You have a Twitter, but you have no clue. It's amazing that you can even connect to the internet to do this show. Look what, we're at 227 thumbs up. Like that. It's up 30. Up 30. Like that. You guys are awesome. What, JP? Defend yourself, old man.
How about tonight? What about my internet connection? What about, was there any kind of lag? Was there any problems, or have I figured out how to actually get a computer to work?
I mean, you're doing okay, but I had to put your computer on 90 days, same as cash, and they're going to hit me with interest. And we made some good super chats tonight, but I'm afraid that the 90 days is going to expire, and they're going to hit me with that back interest, and it's going to bury the show. We may not even be back next year because of your stupid computer. I hope you're happy. I hope you're proud of yourself. But for real, guys, that is going to wrap it up. Again, make sure you check out all the merch. If the links aren't working, just copy, paste, bonfire.com. It's all there. You can search for it. But thank you guys. Just thank you guys for the way this channel has grown this year. It's been amazing, and it's all because of you guys. You're always here. You're always ready to hang out with us and talk UT football. And I know some of you disagree with us. Some of you think we're crazy. We all have opinions, but we can discuss that civilly. So just thanks for hanging out with us. I guess that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas. If something breaks, if news breaks, we will go live. So make sure you're tuned in for that. But again, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you down the road. JP, Dauber, anything you guys want to say?
No, well, just, appreciate everybody greatly. I mean, it's hard to believe the season's already over with. I mean, we were talking about, it just seems like just not too long ago, whether or not that was even going to have football this fall. Really, I mean, we've had a lot of negative stuff this season for sure. But, honestly, I think that you really do have to give those players credit for everything that they did to, try to play these football games, and for Tennessee to get all 10 of those games in, even though, probably as fans that we probably wish that they hadn't have played most of them. But, when it's in your blood, it really is a privilege to watch the Big Orange. And, hopefully one day that, when they run through that power tee, that they'll be good again, and I can get those chill bumps and that excitement, because it's been hard this year. It has, but appreciate everybody continuing to support our show, and thank you all for all of that. And I just hope all of you all have a Merry Christmas and stay safe.
Yeah, I'll echo much of the same. It's just really mind blowing that us three can get on here and talk about something we love and hang out, and just the growth that this show has had over the course of this season, to where we're having 200, 300 up to 405, I think, after the A&M game. It's just mind blowing, and the support you guys showed to the show. But we really do appreciate it. We appreciate you coming back and leaving comments. We try to jump on there and talk back with you guys. You guys make this show. You make it what it is. Otherwise, it would be just our group text. So,
which gets ugly sometimes.
Yeah. But we really do appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out with us, and looking forward to next year. Hopefully we can put 2020 behind us and start getting back, climbing that ladder to back to where we belong.
Yeah, I hope next year we have something to be a little bit more excited about. I hope next year they're back to saying that I'm a sunshine pumper and way too optimistic. This is the first year that I've ever dealt with this. Like, I feel like me and JP bonded this year because they hated both of us. Usually they just hate me and tell me I'm a sunshine pumper. They hate him and tell him he's a negaval. But anyway, man, we say it all the time, but thank you guys. We appreciate it. That's going to wrap it up. If something breaks, if something hits the news, we will go live. So make sure you're tuned in. But that's it for the final time of the 2020 season. Go Big Orange.
The songs, how